You worked hard for 30 years. You paid your bills. You raised your family. You showed up every single day without complaint. And now you are standing in your 50s thinking, I have got this figured out. The hard part is behind me. But here is what nobody is telling you, and what almost nobody in the financial world will say out loud. Your 50s are actually the most financially dangerous decade of your entire life. Not your 20s, when you had no money and nothing to lose. Not your 30s, when you were building and grinding. Your 50s, when you finally have real assets, real savings, and real momentum. That is when the traps are the most deadly. And the worst part? Most men walk straight into them with a smile on their face because everything looks fine on the surface. I am going to walk you through exactly what those traps are, why incredibly smart and hardworking men fall for them every single day, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to make sure you are not one of them. I am Ron Invest, and this channel is dedicated to helping you automate your finances, protect your wealth, and build a future where your money works harder than you do. If this is your first time here, I am genuinely glad you found this video, because what I am about to share could change the trajectory of your financial life. Hit that like button right now. It costs you nothing and it helps this channel reach more men who need to hear this. Make sure you subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss a video. Now let us get into it, because the clock is ticking and the stakes are higher than you think. Let me be direct with you before we dive in. Your 50s are not a time to coast. They are not a victory lap. They are the decade where every financial decision you make carries more weight than at any other point in your life, because the margin for error has shrunk dramatically, and the window to recover from a major mistake is closing fast. The men who retire with true freedom do not get lucky. They avoid these traps while there is still time. Let us go through them one by one. Trap number 1, the lifestyle inflation spiral. You are probably earning more right now than you ever have in your entire career. The mortgage might be almost paid off. The kids are out of the house or almost there. The biggest expenses feel like they are finally behind you. So naturally, you start to enjoy it. Nicer car, bigger house, European vacations, better restaurants, a boat maybe, a second home. And none of that feels like a mistake in the moment, because you earned it. You sacrificed for decades, and you deserve to enjoy the rewards. But here is the financial reality that most people never tell you. Every dollar you add to your lifestyle in your 50s is a dollar that is no longer compounding toward your retirement. And at this stage, compounding is the most powerful tool you have left. If you increase your monthly spending by even $2,000 right now, upgrading your lifestyle, that is not just $2,000 gone each month. When you factor in what that money would have grown into over the next 10 to 15 years, you are potentially giving up tens of thousands of dollars or more. Lifestyle inflation in your 50s is one of the quietest wealth destroyers in existence because it never feels like a mistake. It feels like a reward. And by the time you realize what it has cost you, it is already too late to reclaim it. Trap number 2, neglecting your health as a financial asset. Most men in their 50s treat health as a personal matter, something separate from their finances. That is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. Your health is your single most valuable financial asset at this stage of your life, full stop. One major medical event, a heart attack, a stroke, a cancer diagnosis, a serious accident, can wipe out decades of savings in a matter of months. Medical bills in the United States alone can run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, even with insurance. And that is before you factor in lost income, reduced work capacity, and the long-term cost of ongoing treatment and recovery. But the financial damage of poor health goes far beyond a single emergency. Poor health in your 50s almost always leads to earlier forced retirement, on someone else's timeline, not yours. It leads to higher insurance premiums when you need coverage most. It leads to lower productivity and reduced earning potential during the years when you should be making your biggest financial moves. Investing in your physical health right now, preventive care, regular medical checkups, nutrition, strength training, stress management, is not a luxury or a vanity project. It is one of the single highest return financial investments you can make. The healthier you are in your 50s, the more options you have in your 60s and beyond. Trap number 3, being underinsured at the worst possible time. Here is a trap that silently destroys financial security for men every single year, and almost nobody talks about it. A huge percentage of men in their 50s are operating with insurance coverage that made sense when they were 35 years old, but is dangerously inadequate for where they are today. Their assets have grown. Their family situation may have changed. Their health risks are significantly higher. And yet, many of them have not sat down and seriously reviewed their life insurance, their disability insurance, or their long-term care coverage in years, sometimes in over a decade. Think about what is at stake. If you become seriously ill or disabled and cannot work, does your disability coverage actually replace enough of your income to protect your lifestyle and your retirement savings? If you were to die unexpectedly, would your life insurance provide your spouse with enough to maintain their standard of living without decimating the nest egg you spent a lifetime building? And long-term care, one of the most overlooked forms of coverage, can cost over $100,000 per year. Without a plan, that cost falls entirely on your savings and your family. A thorough insurance review in your 50s is not a minor financial errand. It is one of the most important protective actions you can take. Trap number 4, helping everyone else at the expense of yourself. This is the trap that nobody warns you about, and it is the one that quietly destroys more financial security for men in their 50s than almost anything else. You love your children. You want to give them every advantage you can. You want to help them with their student loans, contribute to their down payment, pay for their wedding, support their new business idea. And on top of that, your aging parents may need financial help, medical costs, living expenses, assisted care. You are caught in the middle, and because you finally have real money, it feels like you can afford to be generous to everyone around you. But here is the hard truth you need to hear. You can borrow money for a college education. You can borrow money for a first home. You can apply for grants and assistance for elder care. You cannot borrow money for your own retirement. When you deplete your savings or raid your retirement accounts to support family members, no matter how much love drives that decision, you are making a trade that cannot be reversed. The money you give away in your 50s is not just the dollars you hand over. It is the compounded growth that those dollars would have generated over the next decade and a half. Protecting your retirement savings is not being selfish. It is being responsible to yourself and ultimately to the people you love. Trap number 5, letting emotion drive your financial decisions. Men in their 50s often carry more financial anxiety than they did at any other point in their adult lives, and that is completely understandable, because now there is real money on the line. There is a real future at stake, and anxiety combined with money is one of the most dangerous financial combinations there is. When the market drops sharply, they panic and liquidate at exactly the worst moment. When a hot investment trend dominates their news feed or their social circle, they chase it with money they cannot afford to lose. When their portfolio has a rough quarter, they make dramatic structural changes that undo years of disciplined strategy, all because of an emotion that will pass in a few weeks. The answer to this problem is not stronger willpower or more discipline. The answer is automation. When you build automated systems for your contributions, your rebalancing, your savings allocations, and your investment strategy, you remove the most dangerous variable from the equation, yourself. You stop making decisions based on fear or greed. You stop reacting to headlines. You let the system do what it was designed to do, consistently over time, regardless of how the market feels today. In your 50s, with everything you have worked to build now at stake, automation is not just a convenience. It is your most powerful financial protection. Trap number 6, failing to build a real retirement income plan. There is a massive difference between having money saved for retirement and actually having a retirement income plan. And that difference could determine whether your retirement lasts comfortably or runs dry at the worst possible moment. A shocking number of men arrive at their late 50s with a sizable retirement account balance, and absolutely no structured plan for how to convert that lump sum into a reliable, sustainable income stream that lasts 20, 25, or even 30 years. They have not determined their safe withdrawal rate. They have not thought through how taxes will work in retirement, because yes, you will still be paying taxes, and possibly more than you expect. They have not accounted for inflation steadily eroding their purchasing power year after year, and they have not planned for healthcare costs in retirement, which the Employee Benefit Research Institute estimates can easily reach $300,000 or more for a couple over the course of retirement. Having money saved is the foundation, But it is only the foundation. A real income plan builds on that foundation with specific strategies for withdrawals, tax management, social security timing, and healthcare funding. Without that plan, you are not financially prepared. You are financially hopeful, and hope alone does not pay the bills in your 70s and 80s. Let me bring this home for you. Nobody handed you a roadmap for your 50s. Nobody pulled you aside and said, hey, these are the 6 ways men your age quietly destroy the financial future they spent 30 years building. The financial industry is often more focused on selling you products than protecting you from the mistakes that matter most. But now you know. You know the traps. You know why disciplined, hardworking, intelligent men fall into them every single year. And you know that the gap between men who retire with real financial freedom and men who retire with regret and stress is almost never about talent or effort. It is about awareness. It is about having the right information at the right time and being willing to act on it. So here's my challenge to you right now. Go through those 6 traps one more time in your head. Be brutally honest with yourself. Which one are you already in? Which one are you walking toward without realizing it? Identifying even one of these traps and taking action on it this week could be worth more to your future than any single investment you make this year. If this video brought you real value today, I want you to hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it tells me that this kind of content is genuinely helping people, which means I will keep making more of it. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already, because every single week we go deep on how to automate your finances, build smarter systems, protect your wealth, and design a retirement that you actually deserve after everything you have put in. I am Ron Invest, and I will see you in the next one.